Okay, early women of the colonies, April 9th, 2018. So the objectives and standards: to understand the changes and challenges women face in the colonies and to analyze how women dealt with struggles and survival in a new world. You just take a moment there to read the standards. Desired result: how did women arrive in the colonies? Some vocabulary. Colony is a location that falls under the full or partial control of another country. And Jamestown was the first permanent English colony in North America in 1607. And Plymouth is an English colony that was established in 1620 by the Pilgrims. So the journey to Jamestown. The first 150 women arrived in the colony of Jamestown, Virginia in 1608. When they arrived, Jamestown was struggling to survive, and a lack of labor meant that women had to work hard, many times in the fields with their husbands. And the main role of women was to take care of the home, but again, some women did have to work in the fields in Jamestown. Building a colony. Members of the Virginia Company wanted to make sure, that Jamestown did not collapse like other colonies. They believed that women would encourage male colonists to work harder to make a permanent life there. Between 1619 and 1621, 250 young women were transported to Virginia. Many women were drawn to the colony with the promise of a husband, home, and/or adventure. Others were actually, unfortunately, captured off of English streets and sold to planters as servants. In Plymouth, a group of separatists, Christians who want to separate from the Church of England, arrived in 1620. They established Plymouth Colony in Massachusetts, about 496 miles north of Jamestown. Now, they're more commonly known as the Pilgrims, so you probably heard of them before. They had 18 women and girls who traveled with them. The colonists of Plymouth dealt with many challenges such as hunger, disease, and attacks by Native Americans. And by the spring of 1621, only 4 women remained in Plymouth. But colonists were able to draw strength from their faith and were able to hold on. More colonies will begin to arrive as well. The 1600s will see additional colonies form in New England, Massachusetts Bay, which will include Plymouth later on. New Hampshire, Connecticut, and Rhode Island will form. The colony of Maryland will border Jamestown, which will later become Virginia. And Pennsylvania, New York, New Jersey, and Delaware will also become colonies as well. In the emergence of the 1700s, the wilderness that greeted the colonists of Jamestown and Plymouth changed by the early 1700s. We'll begin to see cultivated fields, towns, villages, and even a few busy cities across the colonies. Wealth will also begin to increase, as well as the size of homes. The women of this time will clean, cook, and even make their own items. And wealthy women and families who own slaves will be able to use those slaves for household tasks. So, okay, our closure. So, how did women arrive in the colonies? What was their purpose? Why did they come to the colonies? That will hopefully help you answer the question at the end of the lesson today. If you have any questions or concerns, please let one of us know. And we will talk to you guys later. Have a good day or night.